This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, welcoming you to our show. It's Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends. So glad to have you.
Yes, and you are a huge part of our show. Our
Indeed.
producer, James Alexander, has got our question of the day. He's also going to tell you how you can get in touch and be a part of the show.
Yes, you know, we're seeing over 219 stations across the country.
Yep.
I'm trying to sound like President Trump right now.
It's big. It's beautiful.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Beautiful.
You can find where to watch us by going to our website, dailyflashshow.com, and click on where to watch. And we're also seen on American Forces Network as well, so across the world. Now, I say all this in the social channels that you know, your favorite ones you can comment on, because our question of the day, which fictional character do you believe would be your best friend?
Oh, fictional character.
Fictional character.
Ooh,
Well, that's one you have to think
these are
about, for
tough.
sure. Yeah. Okay. And folks want to share theirs? How?
Right, they just go to our socials, or they can email me at flash@dailyflashshow.com.
Sounds good.
Okay. You've never been better. Never
Hey.
been better. Bigger, beautiful,
China.
better. This I found interesting. Everything seems to be turning into a smart version of itself. MIT has just come up with smart meds, medication with trackers that can help you keep track of your daily doses. So yes, your medication could be watching you.
Okay.
Scientists at MIT have developed a groundbreaking smart pill that can wirelessly report the moment the pill's been swallowed, giving doctors a way to monitor whether patients are actually taking their prescriptions on schedule. Now, it may sound simple, but the stakes are high. Studies show that half of all Americans with chronic conditions don't take their long-term medications as prescribed, believe it or not. And in the U.S., failure to follow your meds causes 125,000 preventable deaths every year, drives 25% of patients to the hospital, racks up more than $500 billion in avoidable healthcare costs each year. People do skip their medications for a variety of reasons: high costs, fear of side effects, confusing instructions, and for many, it's just plain simple forgetfulness.
Well, and they also will let you know where it's at. I would imagine it'll let you know when it's gone through you.
Yes.
But I've heard of these little tiny.
Have you? This is the first time I've heard about this.
I know that there's swallowable cameras I've heard of as well.
Yes.
So if you're able to do just that, then these little trackers, I couldn't see that far away from it. I think it's. The thing is, I guess it's encapsulated with the medicine that's inside of it as well. I think it's fantastic because, again, I gotta tell you, y'all know me. I have all my supplements. I'll take them at different times of the day. And if that could talk to my phone and say, hey, look, you took these at this time. You're probably going to start feeling it at this time. It kind of would help me plan out my day, much like my my Aura ring.
Your Aura ring, sure.
Helps with sleeping and such. So I think it's wonderful. However, we're putting. We just had to think about how much plastic is in our body, and now we're putting robotics and metals into it, which there's only one way out of the.
We're digesting radio frequencies, basically,
So
to keep track of our meds.
We got to keep that in mind.
So check this out. One swallowable camera can take 50,000 images in one trip.
Of your entire
Really?
of the whole
50,000
trip.
entire trip.
And well, I imagine too pictures, but also I'm sure there's video. They can have video of where it's at right now.
That's
too.
exactly what we want to see.
Yeah.
Put it on OnlyFans.
Yeah,
There'll be people that do it. You know they will, dude.
that would probably be one of the highest rated
It will completely.
channels on OnlyFans.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you got Pimple Popper, Dr. Pimple Popper. She is super.
She's super popular.
Famous, yeah.
Did you see the ending of that? Yeah.
She popped
It
the
went to
pimple.
total crap at the end, guys. The movie was just.
That's the other question. How does it exit your body?
That's the only way. That's what
That
I'm
is
saying.
the only
I don't
way.
want it to absorb it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Right.
absorb any kind of metal, metallic, or whatever it's made out of to go in. I'm sure that they could make it to where it's dissolvable, but it goes somewhere. And, and that is about the only way.
Yeah.
To
But
go out.
I
I think it's kind of
important.
cool, though.
I like it. I think it's important because, as you said, some people forget. And a lot of people don't take their medication.
That is true.
But you have extreme cases where people sell their medication.
That's a great point, too.
They would know who we go. That's a
All
very
right,
good
so
point.
you
I like that idea.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So let's say there's a pill, you forget to take it. Let's say there's a little blue diamond pill. I'm just pulling out.
Little
And
blue
you know at
diamonds.
9 o'clock you're about to head to bed, right? You go, all right, I'm going to take the pill right now.
Right? Yeah.
And I program it to release at
A
when
certain
I need it
time.
to. No, right? No, seriously.
I mean, it can't be.
So in the morning, you just take all the pills that you need.
Right.
And I can see the benefit of that, but then I go back, it's metal inside my body, and it sounds great. Everything sounds wonderful until they start doing more research, long time research of people finding out that they've got some kind of internal issue.
I do think it's important. I think, for some people, those pill boxes that have the dates on them, I think
Guilty.
it's great. Some people use them and they're highly effective. Other people, as this study reported, forget to take their medication all the time. They can't remember if they took it, and if they don't, they'll take a double dose of it. In some cases, that can be dangerous. And it's a huge, the numbers are huge when it comes to people going to the hospital for either not medicating or over medicating because of forgetfulness.
I think of too how this could benefit for mental issues.
That's the other thing.
I'm talking just. I would imagine this is what I'm saying. Is that you don't know you're going, something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Because your brain is controlling everything.
Right.
But if your pill knows, all I know is in the morning, if I take this pill at 4 o'clock when I normally get loopy, this will remind, it won't happen. XL, like Adderall, extended release, XR rather.
Exactly. And I think for a doctor that's got a patient like that, I think that's ideal because then they can monitor, well, are you taking your meds? Are you taking them at a specific time? So in that respect, it works. It's not an approach that's good for all medications, but for some, and if it's helpful in just getting people into a routine, maybe it's a short-term solution.
I think either way, medicine's, if you think how far we have come, I mean, we're coming closer and closer to Star Trek. I'm sure there's an episode where they took a pill like this.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a little scanner soon.
They don't have to worry about it. But I think there's one fear, and I'm going to cop to this.
Yeah.
It finds something else wrong with me while I was going through the down the trip.
So that's not,
So it's like, oh, you came in for one thing.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
But
others.
if you got a diagnosis, that's a great point. If you knowing that if you could talk to your phone and say this is it, then it'd be much easier to get a second opinion, right? Because you go, look, this is what I could show one doctor this, and they can make their analysis, and vice versa, instead of you've got this problem, only hearing from one. But more than likely, you're 100% right. That is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to upsell you, if you will.
Okay, but then what about biological warfare? I'll take it 10 steps ahead. If you've got medication that's programmed and that can track you, what's to say somebody couldn't get a hold of that technology and use it against you?
I think it can, and I think if they did it, if they wanted, they would release it in the air. They can put it, in the water. They would find some kind of clandestine way of getting it to you that way. But that is opening the door because of the technology opens the door for bad people to think of how can I do this without getting caught.
Right, because I'm thinking of I'm thinking of EV cars. If you miss a payment on an EV car, some of these companies can just turn the car off, and they know where to find it, and they go and pick it up. So when you're talking about medication that can be tracked,
I'm just low. They can turn me off. Now I'm starting to see where you're headed at because if they know, Mitch is taking these electronic pills, we'll call them that, okay? Electronic pills. I know how to. What if there's something I can make James sick right now? That's a very good point. I could send a virus digitally to that and hack into you. Well, that is actually scary. Now more and more, I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea at all.
That's
Stop.
a movie.
I'm staying away.
That's a movie that somebody could make, right?
Yep.
It's sort of. I think we're getting to that point. And then what about if those frequencies conflict with other frequencies in your car, or your phone, or your? I don't know.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Totally going down a rabbit hole.
Let us know what you think. Your thoughts are always welcome at flash@dailyflashshow.com. And you got to live old. You got to keep moving and rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
We'll do a little throwback here to a former Rockette. Her name is Alina Silver. She posted a video of her audition while she was 7.5 months pregnant. Guess what? It went viral. This is an older video. She's a mom of 3 now. She was a Rockette for 12 years, and she says that she was overwhelmed with all the support that she's received. the now famous video was given to her by the show's director saying, hey, remember when you auditioned pregnant?
Yes.
Silver was made the bold decision to audition back in 2016. It was only 6 weeks before giving birth to her first child, which shows you moving around and doing all those kicks and that sort of thing probably helped with her pregnancy, and she still has got those moves. And then also, we can drop the banner, she's wearing these boots.
Yeah, she's wearing high heels and doing this, and she's doing it flawlessly. I mean, she's moving like an absolute...
Look at
You
it.
wouldn't even know she's pregnant, but that to me is like amazing. Not only is she doing that, and she's pregnant, she's doing it in heels.
And so, not being pregnant, but having a very large belly, I would imagine your center of gravity changes everywhere.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Now, I don't know the video. I've seen plenty of pregnant women dancing. Of course, there's poles nearby, but I don't know if that's the best place to do it. We got more Flash coming up. Here is our Brain Flash question of the day.
Yes.
What part of the eye controls how much light enters? The answer right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. We asked the question before we went to break, our Brain Flash question, which is, what part of the brain controls balance and coordination? All right, well, believe it or not, the answer is the cerebellum. There you go. Interesting stuff there. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Here we are. We're moving our way through 2026, and right about now is about the time where everybody's New Year's resolution kind of fizzles out. So our next guest, our friend Florence Ann Romano, joins us now with a better approach to New Year's resolutions that actually can create lasting change. Hi Florence Ann, welcome back to Daily Flash.
Thank you. Happy New Year, my friend. Here we go.
Here we go. Well, we're at this time of year. Same story, right? It's a brand new year, and we have all these great intentions. We want to improve ourselves. They just never seem to last. It sounds like there's a little bit we have to be kind of honest to ourselves, and you've got some tips for us that's going to actually be able to do that. Let's start out with your first one. Don't feel like you have to fix yourself. That's really hard for me because I want to be a better person, but you're saying we don't have to?
Well, of course, fixing yourself can be redefined. You can say you want to have specific modifications that are going to be made, but
Okay.
we don't flip a switch on January 1st and become an entirely different person. We have to lean into the fact that this is a whole year that we have to do some improvement. And what really happens during these New Year's resolutions is we attach that with shame. Oftentimes we're thinking about what we did wrong in the
Yeah.
past year instead of what we did right, and it feels like punishment.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think because for some reason, why we think the first of the year we have to do that. And it seems like when we have that mentality, we do too much. Let's say I want to eat less sweets. Well, all the way up to January 1st, I'm going to probably eat more because I think, well, I'm going to cut myself off January 1st, so I'm not going to have any more. And it's probably worse than I would have not even had the goal. You say ditch the whole all or nothing thinking. Is that a little bit what I'm talking about there as well?
Yeah. Remember, everything is moderation. I don't think anyone does that anymore in life in any sort
Right.
of way whatsoever. But it's a sabotaging process for you. This idea of I'm going to lose those 10 pounds. You're going to cut out those sweets, like you said. Hitting goals without exploring kind of the emotional truth behind these things, it's not going to work. That's why you really don't keep your New Year's resolutions. And I hate the word resolutions. I have to be honest with you. I like a New Year's realization or a New Year's reflection, because resolution just gives kind of that negative spin already from the jump. And so we're talking about alignment here and knowing thyself. That's the first thing you need to do before you actually look at the year you had and want to make those modifications or adjustments.
Okay, yeah, and you mentioned that, so I don't want to take too far of a sidebar here with that, but are we talking about like stopping doing a mental inventory of like, okay, what do I need to look for? Is like, I'm just not happy. Do I need to kind of figure out what's making me unhappy and then work towards it? Is that what you say by looking, for those things?
Well, we want to look for real change, and that requires context. And you want to be able to understand, of course, the year that you just lived, but you want to be able to say, what were my pain points? What were my victories? Can I make choices from wisdom and not pressure? So again, we go straight to appearances. We go straight to losing that weight or joining that gym.
Okay.
But we skip the inner work.
All right, which is important. You say do that inner work, making sure that we do it, and that is obviously what's going to keep us going. It's kind of like the engine under the hood, right?
Right. Exactly. Everyone needs an oil change once in a while, and that's what this is. And it's funny. Sometimes it takes more than a year to have things accomplished in your life that are certain goals for yourself. And I always talk about the 5 things that you want in terms of reflection as we talk about these New Year's resolutions. And it's really to promote self-awareness. And that's what you're really working on. It's not that you're going to walk into this year and say, I'm going to be an entirely different person. It's looking at yourself, knowing that you're enough, but knowing that we're works in progress. I'm becoming who I'm becoming is a famous philosophical saying. And I like that when it comes to the new year because it kind of sets you up already for that change, but also feeling manageable.
And we're talking about context too. Real change requires that context. And what manner do you mean of that?
Well, the context is really the 5 questions I want you to think
see.
about when it comes to exploring what this reflection is. And they're grounding questions for you. And they're going to experience, again, those patterns and those pains. So, the 5 things I want you to do, I want you to think about what worked this year, what drained you, what supported you, or who supported you. What are you still learning? And what do you want to carry forward with you?
I want to make sure I get to the last one because you say reflect before you resolve.
Yes. And you know what? It's so funny because in order for you to do any of these things, you're going to have to think about those questions, of course, regarding 2025.
Okay.
But one of the most important things I think about this list is thinking about who supported you and who showed up in 2025.
Yeah.
Because you make these big promises to yourself, but what something you can do that is so profound is you can think about who showed up for you and you can go thank them this year. And if
Love
that's
that
the
idea.
one thing you do, then that's all you can say. Check
love that.
2026 off the list.
More information is found in Florence Ann's book. It's called Build Your Village. Go to florenceann.com.
From the archives of history, Daily Flash presents Old School Flashback.
Like all too many of his contemporaries, Tom is experimenting with something he knows little about which too little is known by anyone. Marijuana. It's a scene which must have times, in countless ways, all equally heartbreaking. The father-son confrontation.
Mom smokes like a chimney. And you have a drink every day and smoke too.
It's not the same.
Why not? It's easy for you to stand there with a cigarette in one hand and a drink in another and tell us not to blow pot.
Is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites, and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Have you heard the rumors about Netflix After Dark? Well, someone posted about a new addition to the streamer involving NSFW content.
Oh, not safe for work.
Yes. Netflix Junkie has yet to confirm the rumors, and most readers say it's a viral hoax. Netflix did just unveil their new programming for 2026. There will be 3 new TV shows from the Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things, making a return for a new season. Bridgerton, another season of Love is Blind, The Hunting Wives, Outer Banks, The Four Seasons, Emily in Paris, and Running Point.
All right. So all of those we can count on, but not all of those. See, the 4 seasons, you know how you come up with names for those kinds of movies? Yeah, I'm trying to think of some, but my creativity is not quite there yet. Emily in Paris, kind of like Debbie in Dallas.
I thought Emily in Paris, yeah, right. I thought Emily in Paris was finished after this last season that came on, but I guess they're going for one more
Story-wise,
season.
is that what you mean?
Story-wise,
Okay.
yeah.
I know my wife watched it. I haven't really caught into it, but I know it's very popular. By
Yeah,
all means.
Bridgerton is huge. I just wondered about the whole Netflix after dark, although it sounds catchy. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Is what I want to know. Why would you want to tarnish your brand first off that way? When
Yes.
the internet, people are going to go
That's a
get
great
there
point.
anyway. But if they're like, well, we want market share,
Yeah.
but it's not going to happen. I have heard though they are moving towards getting podcasts, video podcasts on there as well. Where you
Okay.
can just dial up somebody's, much like any other like iHeart and that sort of thing. But this is all video based,
Video-based
where you can be able to
podcast.
find it, kind of like YouTube going up against
Okay.
them as well. So think about that. Well, they are painting the town pink in one English town, according to, during a recent snowstorm. Residents in the West Midlands witnessed a sky glowing with just a pinkish hue in it. Check this out. The unexpected swirl of color turned out to be LED lights by a local football club.
Wow.
Soccer is what we call it
Yeah.
over here. They were installed to help grow grass in their stadiums. Some thought that they were the Northern Lights. Others were not so amused. One resident called it light pollution. But come on. I mean, if you know where it's coming from,
Yes.
if it makes the world look nicer, that sort of thing, it's to me, I would love to look at stuff like that.
I think that's gorgeous.
Why would you want to go against it? But there's always that one person, I can't believe they're polluting the sky with all this light. But it looks nice, okay? It's
cool.
not strobe lights or
Right.
spotlights.
Come on,
I mean,
get
it's
with the
gorgeous.
program. If you struggle with a fear of flying, life coach Mel Robbins recently talked about how she deals with her anxiety as she prepares to board a flight. Robbins calls her approach anchor thought. She recommends visualizing a positive moment that will happen after the flight. Another tip, she says, engaging all 5 senses to help lock that image into your mind. Robbins says this mental approach makes it easier to go back to if your nerves creep back in during the flight. Do you have any fear of flying?
Absolutely not.
Me neither.
After you skydive, you realize, look, But here's the thing. I think because I look at the plane a lot of times, like I can jump from this far. But it's the fact that I can't. Do you know what? It makes
yes.
it a lot easier to believe that.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where I was watching, but somebody was saying it feels like it's a matter. People that have to be in control all the time sometimes have problems flying because they have no control whatsoever. And in life, you got to let go and just you have to you are giving your life over to somebody else, but this is somebody who's trained and worked really hard to be able to get that.
And you got other passengers with you.
Yeah, but I can understand the anxiety that comes along,
sure.
100%. And you see them all the time. People just kind of freaking out. Any kind of turbulence and that sort of thing. It's natural. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Dry January. It's become a modern trend to help people detox from the holidays, and experts say it's actually a great way to see in real time how alcohol affects your entire system. The first week after your last drink, the body starts to reset. The liver gets a chance to actually process a backlog of toxins. The body also gets a chance to rehydrate, also re-energize. In your second week, the gut and the brain start to rebalance and stabilize as well. Week 3, inflammation should start to decrease, and any puffiness or redness in your skin, that goes away. Your final week, that's week 4, the body hits a sweet spot where insulin levels return and weight loss could be a little bit easier. And you probably feel better after all of that as well, just letting go. And, we hear about interval fasting and that sort of thing, kind of like giving. It's probably really a good idea to give up something that you might be doing a lot of, just so that your body can kind of feel those changes. And much like they say to rest your muscles after you exercise, your body is a big muscle if you think about it, so why not?
That's a great point. And I think when it comes to drinking, a little bit goes a long way. So if you do like to imbibe, and I think some people's systems handle it better than
You're
others.
100% right. No, it does. You're right.
I know, I can drink a couple glasses of Prosecco and that's about it for me. But if I drink anything else, I end up with a horrible headache in the morning. And,
But y'all, she is so fun. Up until that point.
True, I'm great fun. Liquid
lots of
courage.
fun.
But my system does not like alcohol.
But that's good that you know that too. And if that stops you from overindulging, that's great. But there's a lot of people like me, Mitch English 10 years ago, who didn't care. You do anything to get that. More Flash coming up. We're sober too. That's what's even the best part.
Dry January.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do a darn thing here, let's check in with our producer, James Alexander, talk about our stations across the nation.
Yes, those 219 beautiful stations across this great country of ours and the American Forces Network. You can find us by going to dailyflashshow.com. Click on Where to Watch, and you'll see all our local friends, including our favorite friend, one of our favorites, in Yuma, Arizona.
Yuma.
KECY-TV.
Hey, all right.
I'm excited because I need to go visit Yuma. I'm looking at all the great stuff Yuma has, and it used to be the major crossing for the gold rush.
The Gold Rush.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
And Yuma's one of those TV markets, too, that's where a lot of reporters start out, in Yuma, Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think it's like market 189, out of 200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's also the sunniest place on earth.
I would believe that.
Is it really?
Yeah. Be in Arizona. Sure.
Oh,
Take the
interesting.
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma.
Yuma.
Have some fun.
Was Russell Crowe in that?
I think so. I think you was. Well, you're the movie expert.
Will you
up
check
here.
on that, James, for us?
do
310
just
to
that.
Yuma.
I definitely will.
Yesterday, we were moving some stuff around. I was just kind of setting things up, and Keegan, our director, was helping me out, and we turned this big piece of furniture, and I wailed my arm right up to the
yeah.
wall. You guys heard that,
I was
right?
there for that.
And the choice
Language?
language that I used, I was like, I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, because I made up a couple new cuss words.
Did you?
But now, so I got thinking about this. American Psychological Association says that actually letting a swear word fly out during tough physical tasks actually pushes you to be able to push even harder and actually last longer as well. So researchers are thinking that swearing, basically, it lowers the mental restraint and gives you confidence.
Okay.
There was not confidence there because I looked weak. Then I let my hand mess up like that. Anyway, so it says it puts you at a better flow. You're in like a different state, if you will, when you need it the most. Almost like a little adrenaline rush.
I could
like
see that.
this allowed you, like
Yeah.
it's the manifestation of what you need at that moment. Hence, like there's a lot of adrenaline when you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why we yell out,
Right,
whatever. It's awesome if people have restraint not to cuss. I've always found, fiddlesticks. Like how?
It's not the same.
It's not. And
Nope.
I think people that say fiddlesticks feel the same way.
Yep.
They're saying that it actually gives better physical endurance out of it because the experiments that they use, basically they put people in really challenging situations, and they found that when they didn't tell them what they were doing, but when they found that those that cussed when they were really actually are helping them push it along. So it's basically our body's language of saying, all right, we're not doing something we need, but I must be on reserves because I'm pulling out these words I shouldn't be saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm giving it all.
Yeah.
And so, when we hear people like that, you shouldn't do it, kids. When y'all grew up, were you able to cuss in your house?
No.
No,
No.
man.
But one of the first words out of my mouth, according to my mom, was a curse word.
Is that right? What letter does it?
S.
S, okay.
And it ends with T. And I think because she was a very vocal driver. I think as an infant, I picked that up, and I was in the car when I said it. So I have a feeling that was proof that my mom had quite the.
James, I have a feeling you were not allowed to
Look,
cuss.
see, I tried to get away with it's in the Bible.
I got away with hell and ass. That's the only one that was I got in trouble, but I got what's in the Bible.
Yeah, did you?
I never, and to my mom, I think I was in my low 40s when I said, I think I even said.
Your low 40s.
I don't know, 40-something, whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
Where I cussed in front of my mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And it wasn't like one of the bad ones. I still was like, but I know that I sound like an old person, but I just don't like hearing it.
Yeah.
It's
true.
In my house by my kids, that sort of thing.
And my mom, as a teenager, you say, "Oh, that sucks. That sucks." She would have and I get it. Like it doesn't sound
Be careful.
good.
Be
It
careful.
doesn't.
We
it's
couldn't
not.
say cockroach in my house.
couldn't,
No,
really?
it's so weird for me saying it right now. Hey, the scene with Doreen's coming up. She's talking to Margaret Cho. We also got
Russell
some
Crowe.
very positive stories.
yeah,
as well.
Yes, tell me something good.
Stick around for that. Today's talk.
Russell
tomorrow's
Crowe
trip.
wasn't.
Today on The Scene with Doreen, I sit down with one of the most influential trailblazers of American comedy, Margaret Cho. She's heading out on a new comedy tour, and I can't wait to dig in. Check it out.
My Korean name is Moran. Moran. That's my name. In my Korean name, it's the name of Kim Jong-il's production company. So that's how Asian that is. I have a friend who's even more Asian. Her name is
42 years ago, when you started in comedy, there were no Asian American comedians. I mean, very few women. You were the one that really set that bar for everyone.
Yeah, well, I love the job. Like, I still do it all the time. I'm still very active in the community. And I'm really grateful. I think that's my greatest achievement, is to have inspired so many incredible Asian American comedians to go out there and do comedy.
Who was your mentor? Who did you look to when you were young?
You know, I have to say this, I watched you.
I
watched you on Saturday Night Live.
You yourself had your own mentor, Joan Rivers.
I think back on our conversations, all the times she helped me in my career. She was just such a hero, such a really amazing mentor and a friend.
She did not sugarcoat anything. Like, if you knew what you got with her, right?
Yeah, but she was also really soft. She was like not what you think. Her stage persona really was a cover. It was a mask for the kind, gentle heart that she actually was.
I told my mother when I was 14 I wanted to be a comedian. And she said, "Oh, maybe it's better if you just die."
It must feel so good to be back on the road on the 2026 Troligarchy Tour.
It's fitting for what's happening now, and so the show is all about kind of modern politics and resistance, as I see it, and I think it's a lot of important stuff. You know, it's an important time to do comedy about that.
Have you ever changed anyone's mind by someone coming to your show and saying, "Hey, you know what, Margaret, I didn't think of it that way, but you opened my eyes to something I'd really never thought of before"?
I don't know. I mean, I know that I have brought people into thinking that, hey, let's go see an Asian comedian. Hey, let's be an Asian comedian.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to enter that into the world when it didn't exist before. So, you know, I think that I could be able to introduce new ideas or my ideas. If not, at least approach entertainment in a way of like showing, like, I think this, maybe we could all think about it. At least you're entertained while thinking about it. I think that's what politics crossing with comedy is for.
Visit margaretshow.com. Check out upcoming tour dates on the 2026 Troligarchy Tour. And just stay connected to everything that is the wonderful Margaret Show.
Well, thank you very much.
And if you want to hear more of our wonderful conversation, visit right here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen, here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. A new year, well, it often brings new routines, especially in the kitchen, right? Well, here's what you should know about dependable staples that are actually going to support simple, healthy meals all at home.
January is a time when many people look for simple ways to reset routines and build healthier habits, especially in the kitchen. Stocking up on dependable, high-quality ingredients takes the stress out of home cooking. With more, here's registered dietitian Roxana Asani.
Bush's recipe beans are the very best because they offer unbeatable taste and trusted quality. Grown, cooked, and canned in North America, they're a convenient way to bring flavorful, feel-good meals to the table. They're a reliable staple whether you're cooking more at home, watching your budget, or preparing meals for those you love.
Beans are versatile and support balanced meals, from soups and salads to bowls and dips.
Bush's recipe beans add plant-based protein and fiber to any meal. And there are plenty of ways to use them, like a Greek dense bean salad or a sweet potato breakfast bowl. Both are simple dishes that fit right into busy weeks.
For recipes and to find Bush's recipe beans near you, visit bushbeans.com.
We've got some good trending stories for you right now. A 29-year-old former Brazilian ballerina has just unseated Taylor Swift as the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. Whoa. Can you believe this? She won the title after her AI platform scored an $11 billion evaluation. That helped her net worth skyrocket to $1.3 billion. She overtook Taylor Swift, whose popularity from her 2023 Eras Tour boosted her past Kylie Jenner.
Okay, so she didn't make $11 billion being a ballerina.
No,
So she's
she
smart
made it
too.
from an AI platform. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
yes.
good for her.
Yeah,
I love
right?
that.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, if you can make $11 billion being a ballerina, God
Yeah.
bless you. I love that. Speaking of Taylor Swift, life as a showgirl continuing into the awards season. She's actually led the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Awards nomination, 9 nods. The pop star had a whirlwind year with the release of her most recent album, The Life of a Showgirl, and her engagement to NFL star Travis Kelce. Did not hear about that. That's interesting.
No, you didn't?
Huh. She's dating a football guy. All right.
She's dating a football guy.
For this year's awards, the 36-year-old Swift was nominated for Artist of the Year, Pop Star of the Year. The singer did not attend last year's ceremony, during which she was nominated for 10 awards. She actually won the Pop Album of the Year. This year's iHeartRadio Music Awards are going to be taking place March 26th. And I'm sure Ryan Seacrest has something to do with it.
Oh,
so
it wouldn't surprise me. Former Saturday Night Live star Chris Redd tearfully claimed that he sold drugs to his fellow castmates. Did you hear about this?
I did in the past. Tell me more about it.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
In a confessional post on Instagram, the 40-year-old comedian said he was embracing vulnerability in the new year, confessing that he was dealing with pill problems and issues during his 5-season run on NBC's hit sketch comedy show. Redd said his struggles were compounded by what he described as a lack of support from co-stars, claiming he overheard other cast members talking about him instead of offering help. This is that victim mentality that so many of our experts say you gotta really be careful of and avoid, because really he did this to himself.
Yes, and I do appreciate that he's coming out.
Yes, absolutely.
But if anybody is surprised that they took drugs on Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live, that's how that show started, right? I mean, and they would even admit it back in the day. They were talking about how high they would be all the time, that sort of thing. And that the comics, it's conducive to that sort of thing. I appreciate him coming out. How about saying, I did some things, and make it a little bit more ambiguous of what you did, you know, because it does associate. The longer tail basically tells, hey, look, you can have it all and still do stupid stuff and that sort of thing. But also it just says, man, you can get drugs anywhere, and even when you're famous.
And I just think an ounce of accountability goes a really long way. And I don't know if there was much accountability in that confessional. But I would hope so. And then blaming your other castmates for not supporting you enough.
It sounds like he hasn't gone through the 12 steps, which is, acceptance and, of course, forgiveness. If you forgive somebody, then why would you bring it up? Right?
Right. And it's show business, and it is cutthroat. So if you're looking for people to help you, in a comedy sketch show, good luck.
Especially the longest running one ever. I like him. I want to see him succeed, that sort of thing. It's just, we're in this day and age. Anytime somebody does the, does the, I'm really sorry, up in face, we got to see you in your face. You kind of wonder what's your intentions behind it. Hopefully he'll have the purest intentions of that. He just wanted to get that out of him and realize he was not a good person. Maybe that's what he is. Kind of like what you said. Brooklyn Beckham reportedly wants no contact with his parents, David and Victoria Beckham. It certainly is. As their family feud just rages on, it's actually been reported that the 26-year-old chef and his parents exchanged letters last summer, but only through their legal teams. That's sad. Brooklyn reported that he didn't want his parents to contact him or make public statements about him on social media, and that they should only contact him through his lawyers. He reportedly made the request after he was offended by statements about his wife, which suggested that he was being controlled by her and that he was a hostage. Families go through all this when you're famous. Everybody hears about it. That's the only bad part about it. And, it seems like families, sometimes we go through this, we don't want to talk anymore and that sort of thing. Let's just hope, okay, give him the space. As a parent, this is what I have to learn. Give you space when you're ready. I'm always going to be here for you, no matter what. And I bet you it's a one-way, though. Like, they would love to talk to him, but he doesn't want to talk to them.
I'll give him the same accountability speech I gave to the comedian who had the confessional. You have to be accountable for your actions. And in this day and age of social media, it almost seems like he's doing it for the attention, which drives me nuts. Also, it is an age-old situation where parents think that you know, the husband or the wife might be too controlling. There's just that mama bear, papa bear, you know, and it's hard to let go of your kids. It's going to happen no matter what. That conversation will happen regardless. It seems like it happens to most relationships and in-laws when it comes to that kind of dynamic.
And it's not going to go anywhere at all. Speaking of another high-profile couple.
Yes, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry producing a new wedding-centered movie for Netflix, despite their past flops with the streaming giant. Can we just tell them to stop?
Please
stop.
Please. Take accountability.
Yeah, the two will produce an adaptation of The Wedding Date. Boy, I'm glad we're getting that one. Harry and Markle famously got married back in 2018. 2020, they signed a $100 million multi-year deal with Netflix. Why would you waste your money on these two? Nearly 9 months after they stepped down as senior members of the royal family, the Sussexes are also producing a film adaptation of Carly Fortune's hit romance novel, Meet Me at the Lake.
Okay, and you wonder how much creativity they're involved in it. Or, you know, a lot of times when you see producers, anybody can be a producer.
Exactly.
I kind of wonder how much a name attachment that is.
Yeah, they're putting maybe the money and their name to it, and that's about it. Yeah.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference. From the biggest pop culture moments to the stories you'll be sending to the group chat, El Flash Latino brings the energy, the attitude, and the savor every single time.
Saludos a todos, yo soy Gisela Bouvier. Y yo soy Fabián Marcano y le damos la bienvenida a El Flash Latino.
With Fabian and Gisela serving up laughs, hot takes, and pure personality, you never know what they'll say next in whichever language comes out first.
Pero we're in Spanish. Yo soy Isis. There, from
Jump into the show that celebrates culture, comedy, and all things Spanglish. El Flash Latino.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We got something good we want to share with you.
Yeah, in this week's Tell Me Something Good, we are giving props to a fire department in Maine that went above and beyond to rescue a dog trapped in an icy pond. According to the dog owners, their golden retriever ran out onto a frozen pond and broke through the ice. The owners called 911, hoped that firefighters could arrive in time. Emergency teams slipped into their orange waterproof jumpsuits and went into action.
Man, they do this because they love the dogs. One rescuer gently slid across the ice, paddled out to meet the dog. To his credit, the dog did a great job keeping his head above water. Phone camera footage revealed that the dog was ready to get to dry land when the rescuer reached him in the middle point of the pond. The firemen secured rescue gear around the dog's neck, gave the signal to pull him in, and guess what? They did so with a rope attached. Thankfully, both made it back to shore. No signs of hypothermia, but it shows you what our first responders will do, and then what we'll do for pets and for dogs. How much we love our pets. So this is great to see. It doesn't matter who you are. They are a lifesaver instead of a firefighter. If you think about it, they'll do just about anything to save lives.
Their job does require some unique experiences throughout the day, not just fighting fires, but obviously going into an icy pond like that and rescuing the dog. I like when he gives the crew on dry land the signal, like, okay, I've got him. Go. It's good. Bring him back in and pull us in. So he's got him attached to a rope. I am really shocked that the dog did not have hypothermia.
Which is, it looked like it was relatively calm. Obviously, probably a trained dog, but a lot of times they exert all that energy trying to get out. That's bad for them, and that same goes for humans as well. Thank you, firefighters, for all you do, and all your first responders out there. We thank you. We thank you at home for watching and tuning in and spending time with us.
Yeah, for more information on any of today's stories, you want to watch this incredible rescue video once again, you can head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
All right, we love having you around. All our social media sites waiting for you. Stick around. We'll be back tomorrow, we promise.
We will.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye, y'all.